Welcome to the Tool Review channel. Today we're taking a look at the Klein Tools D2000-8 heavy duty side cutting linesman pliers. Now these pliers, being a part of the heavy duty line from Klein Tools, can cut through ACSR, screws, nails, and most hardened wire without damaging the cutting edge, unlike their normal linesman pliers that don't have as strong of a cutting edge and can only cut through copper and I believe aluminum wire. So these can cut through a bunch of other different kinds of wires, and these, like I said, are the 8-inch version of their standard heavy-duty linesman pliers. So if you needed a smaller, a little bit more compact pair of linesman pliers, these are probably going to be something that you are going to be looking for. So starting off with the review here, you can see you have the Klein Tools name etched onto the surface, also with the logo right there as well. Established 1857, G10 right there, which I believe is a manufacturing code for when the tool was made. You have your D2000-8 model number right there, made in America, which if you know me, I love tools made in America. And then you have some safety warnings right there. And then you have your standard blue dipped handles, which is fairly nice. Now, if you don't want the dipped handles, you can also buy this 8-inch pair of linesman pliers with the journeyman style handles or their comfort grip style handles, if that's what you prefer. And then as you can see, this pair of linesman pliers is a high leverage design. You can see the rivet is close to the cutting edge, so you don't have to use as much force to cut through a wire as you would if it was just a standard pair of linesman pliers where the rivet is a lot farther away from the cutting edge. Since we're talking about the cutting edge, as you can see, you have a fairly decent sized cutting edge on the pliers right here. And then on the nose of the pliers, you can see you have some nice cross hatching on the nose of the pliers right there. So if you need to twist wire, maybe pull off some wire insulation or do anything that would require some cross hatching, you can see you have a good cross hatching on the top and bottom of this pair of pliers. So it is going to be able to get a nice grip onto something and not let go. And as you can see, the outside, I believe, are filed. So if you needed to ream some pipe out, like some conduit with these, you could potentially do that. Just stick it in and ream the pipe out right there. Coming to the back, you can see you have a square cutout, and my tool is a little bit oily. We'll get to that in a minute, but as you can see, you have a nice square cutout right there. And you can see your rivet on the back side as well. Right there. So now we'll zoom out here and get some of the functionality of this tool. Now, like I said, you can see there's a oil coming through my rivet joint. I had to apply quite a bit of oil to these. I know most Kleins come and they're fairly loose, but some do come and they need to be broken in, and this is one pair that does need to be broken in. As you can see, it only opens to about there, and the rest you have to open by hand. Now, it's not terribly stiff, but it is definitely does need to be broken in quite a bit more, so it is a little bit looser, but that's something to look forward to in the future and work towards. To get better in the future. But we're going to bring in some 14 gauge stranded wire and see how well the cutting edges on here can cut through this wire. And as you see, it has no problem cutting through that 14 gauge stranded wire whatsoever, which is nice. So I'll go ahead and get that out of the shot, and we will bring some 12 gauge stranded wire in here and see how well we can cut through this wire as well. And as you can see, you are able to cut through this wire no problem, which is super nice. It does a decent job cutting through the wire, and it is fairly smooth, which is nice. So now we're going to bring in some 10 gauge stranded wire and see if we can cut through this. We should be able to cut through it no problem, but you never know. And as you can see right there, we can cut through that 10 gauge stranded wire with no problem. It does it fairly smooth, which is super nice. So we'll get that out of there, and now we'll bring in some 14 gauge solid wire and see how well these can cut through that. And as you can see, it has no problem whatsoever cutting through that 14 gauge solid wire, Now we'll bring in some 12 gauge solid wire and we'll go ahead and cut through that. And as you can see, it has no problem whatsoever cutting through that solid wire. Now we're going to bring in some 18.5 thermostat wire. So this is 18 gauge wire with 5 wires inside, and we'll see how well these pliers can cut through that. And as you can see, these have no problem cutting through this 18.5 thermostat wire, which is super nice. Now we're going to bring in some 14.2 with ground Romex wire and see if these pliers can cut through that no problem. And as you can see, sorry about the camera shake there, these can cut through the 14-2 with ground. No problem. The wire does kind of like to hang out in the middle of the jaw. You have to kind of clear that out. But it does cut through this 14-2 Romex wire. No problem. And now we're going to bring in some 12-2 with ground Romex wire and see if we can cut through this. And as you can see, you definitely have to apply a little bit more force than you did with the 14-2 and any other wires. But as you can see, these cut through that wire, no problem. And as you did hear that snapping action that comes with Lineman pliers. They all seem to have it from what I see. But Klein has specifically designed their handles to absorb that snapping action so you don't feel it as much in your hand. And as you can see, these pliers do fit nicely in your hand, which is super nice. So overall, these are definitely a nice pair of Lineman pliers from Klein Tools. Definitely not something everyone would have a use for, but definitely if you need to work in a tighter space and you don't want to use your 8-inch or your 9-inch, excuse me, or maybe you have a 9.5-inch size pair of Lineman pliers, you need something more compact. These are probably going to be something you're going to want to use. Like I said, these are a super nice pair of Lineman pliers made in America. It seems that tools made in America generally are a lot better quality than tools made in other countries like China and Taiwan. And stuff like that. So these are definitely a nice pair of pliers to have. I definitely can recommend them to anyone looking for a pair of Lineman pliers. So that's all I have for this review. So I will leave a link to this tool that'll take you right over to Klein's website where you can find out more information about this tool. And you can also find a retailer possibly near you that has it. You can go there and buy it. Or if you don't want to deal with that, the link will also take you to Klein's website, like I said. And on their website, you can go and see which online retailers have it, and you can purchase this tool as well. Now, I do believe these have a limited lifetime warranty on them, so if there's a manufacturer defect with the tool, you weren't abusing the tool, and the tool just broke, and it wasn't normal wear and tear, you can send it back into Klein Tools, and they will warranty it out for you. I believe the warranty process takes 2 to 4 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. All you gotta do is fill out some paperwork and ship the tool to them, and then they should send you a new one back if they determine you didn't abuse the tool, and they should warranty it out, no problem. But that's all I have for this review. So if you are new to the channel, please feel free to hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. And if you did enjoy this review, please give it a thumbs up. That'll help out the channel a lot and be greatly appreciated. But that's all I have for this review. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next video uploaded.